I'm so grateful that you joined us for these last 21 days. I believe it's been rewarding. I believe that you've grown. I believe you have a greater understanding of who the Father is, who the Son is, and also the present day work of the Holy Spirit. You know, throughout the book of John, we've seen Jesus in so many lights. We saw him as the Word. We saw him as truth. We saw him as the Good Shepherd. We saw him as the bread of life. We saw him as resurrection. We saw him as the way, the truth, and the life. We see him as our joy. We see him as our peace. We see him in so many different ways. But as we look at John 21 today, I want us to see him from a standpoint is that he's always pursuing humanity. You know, after all, in this chapter, we see that Jesus has an encounter with Peter. After all, Peter, not too long before the resurrection, Peter denied Jesus 3 times. But yet Jesus engages Peter and asks him 3 different questions. And he asks him, he says, "Peter, do you love me?" And Peter says, "Yeah, I do." And he goes, "Feed my lambs." Then he asks Peter, or y'all called him Simon of Jonah, he goes, "Do you love me?" And he goes, "Yes, I love you." And he goes, Tend to my sheep. And he asks him one more time. He says, "Peter, do you really love me?" And Peter goes, "Yes, I do. I do love you." And he says, "Feed my sheep, assuredly." He goes, "When you were younger, you went your own direction." He goes, "But now you're going to go a different direction." I believe that's the ultimate exchange about surrendering our lives to him and not just living for ourselves, but living for him and living for a greater purpose. You know, here at our ministry, one of the sayings we have is a passion for God and a passion for souls. Jesus loved the Father, and out of that love for the Father, he loved people, and he pursued people. And I believe that's what Jesus is ultimately asking Peter. Do you love me? Well, if you love me, then you'll love what I love, and that's people, and you'll go out for people. Let's go out the rest of this year, and let's go into all the world and preach the gospel. Let's go in and feed people. Let's go in and take care of people. Let's bring healing to the sick. Let's go ahead and be Jesus to the world around us. Because after all, Jesus said, "As my Father sent me, so I send you." I'm so glad that you joined us for these 21 days. So I encourage you, go give him Jesus.